Well, future Mike here on this 302. I kind of made a mistake. I was mostly right, but there's a couple things I didn't know, and I'm going to try to forewarn you. So this is right after part 2 of the engine tear down, rebuild, whatever it is on the Mustang, that roller motor that has emission control. What I told you was absolutely accurate. These bigger holes on both heads. There's a crossover tube which is laying right down here on the floor. That's not hooked to it, it's just garbage. That crosses over, bolts here, goes from there to the other side, and then it goes over and dumps to, I can't remember where it goes back into, somewhere I'm sure back into the intake plenum or something. Well, there's something I did take into consideration. You can see there's a set of threads in there, all right? And what I didn't take into account was that these threads only go so far. So you know what I did, right? If you figured it out, if you haven't, maybe this will tell you something. This is the other side. I put the heads on backwards. It's not going to hurt anything necessarily as far as working performance, stuff like that. What it will do though is that means now that this hole, that on both sides, it's on both sides, doesn't have that set of threads. It has threads, but they're huge, like 5/8 or something like that. It doesn't have that threadlet or whatever that is in there. So because I do not have that on both sides, and I need at least this one for the power steering alternator bracket, actually screws into that. The other side, the AC, the factory AC bracket also requires that bolt. I'm not sure I'm even going to put the AC stuff on right now because it's just not worth it. It's not going to work. There's nothing to hook it to. Chances are I'm going to have to change everything over when I go to the AC unit anyway, so I'm not even going to possibly bolt that on. But what this has done is kind of brought me into, don't do what I do. Please mark your heads left, right, front, rear. I don't care how you do it, but mark it in such a way that you know which way to put the heads on, or this could bite you just like it did me. Now to prove how this works, I thought it just picked up on the one cylinder, like if this head was reversed. This would have been on the back on the passenger side. I thought it just picked up the 2 last cylinders, but that's not entirely accurate either. It actually, if you see that right there in the center of your screen, there's kind of that little hang down, the bung, whatever you call it. There's actually one in every one of the cylinders, and that has a small hole in it, and that's how it picks on the other side where you can't see it. That's where it picks the exhaust up on all 4 cylinders on each side. So it does do it. So what I mean by that is, I don't think I can hold this and do this at the same time, so please forgive my crappy camera. Well, I'll tell you what, let me just walk over here and get my, sorry about this. It is, by the way, to put this in perspective, this is the day after Christmas, 2021. So, I should have had this planned out. Excuse me. So, run the old vomit cam down now that y'all are sick anyway. We're moving around. Okay, so if I put said snot rag over top of this hole like this, and I stick air in this side may be plugged up still. No, it's coming out. Just can't. It's probably just easier to go that other way, but you can see the rag move. It's coming out of the second cylinder there, actually, more than it is the first. Now if I go over here to this side, I put this down here, it even makes a different sound altogether. You can tell no exhaust goes through this. What you're seeing is that blowing around from my side. But believe me, it does not go anywhere. So what I mean by that is please, please, please mark the heads, put them on the side they came off of, because this is now going to be a pain in the butt. I'm not pulling the heads and swapping around. Not worth it. So, just FYI guys, don't do what I do.